Alright, a little bit of an update about this video. I had to take it down, do some more editing, and why not add this correction? And that is, on the original video, I was talking about Roy's Fire Emblem game. However, there is a subtitle, and unfortunately, when I realized after I finished the recording, I mixed up the binding and the blazing subtitle. So the correction here is that Roy's game is Binding Blade. And like I said in the main video, that Roy in Smash Brother Melee first appeared before even his game came out. So you kind of have a hint of why, sort of a quote-unquote echo to Mart. I mean, he's slower, he has flaming uppercut blade, whatever you can call it. And of course, later on in the Wii U and in Ultimate, he has his own definition of the Smash finale. But that's a different story there. So yes, his game is Binding Blade, while the one that first ever came out in America is Blazing Blade with Eliwood and Lyn. That was the very first game ever. Yes, has past game ever came out, of course not the classic one, but remember Fire Emblem, the very first one, actually came out on the DS as a remake. So remake, like Final Fantasy 7 and Resident Evil 3 remake, okay, whatever. Yes, and as well as another improved remake is Fire Emblem Echoes Shadow Valencia. So yes, the correction there is that Roy's game's called Binding Blade, while Eliwood's game, the one that first ever came out in the US, is called Blazing Blade. And in the video itself, I did kind of adjust that. However, unfortunately, I missed one of it. Somewhere towards the beginning, if you watch my original video, I kind of said I made a mistake there. So again, before I start this updated version, Roy's game in Fire Emblem for the GBA is called Fire Emblem Binding Blade, which that never came out. And that's the sort of the promotion that Roy was in Melee, while in Blazing Blade, that's the first ever Fire Emblem that came out on the GBA. Hello guys, it's NautoAce, and I want to do a follow-up on the Byleth situation with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. More development happened with Sakurai in an interview. And oh boy, and I have to say, kind of feel sad for Sakurai because some people still, they're just giving him a hard time, even so he already stated that he doesn't have any control which character to be in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So in this one, I gotta give props to Mugenlord giving his opinion about Byleth's situation in Smash, as well Event Hub on the article. So there was more story to the Famitsu interview. And yes, like I said before, when it comes to the fighter path, Sakurai has no control. He doesn't pick the character what he wants. What it is, and again, I have to reiterate this, is how it works. I know a lot of people say, what's the list? Okay, so the thing how it works is Nintendo gave Sakurai a list. So that list are some characters that they are interested that's going to help one or two things. Sell Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and two, have better relationship with the other company, thus third-party characters, or the third one, help sell more of the game, aka Byleth in Smash. That means maybe more sales for Fire Emblem 3 houses. So the list is just a lot of characters. What Sakurai's job is, he gets to pick, to some extent, not always, but he gets to pick which character he thinks will fit in Smash Bros. Ultimate. However, there will be situations, and even Sakurai said it himself, that Nintendo will say, oh, we want that particular character in Smash Bros. Ultimate. We feel like good for business, sales. You gotta keep in mind, and a lot of people had this inkling, I felt it too, is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate AB is for the community, everyone is here. But to some extent, it is a business. They have to make money. It's supposed to be some sort of stepping stool to help sell other games, market other games. So, what do I mean by that? Well, a good example really is, believe it or not, is Super Smash Bros. Melee. So if you are in the West, of course, Fire Emblem never came out until later on from the Gameboy Advance, which is the very first Fire Emblem that came out in the West was Fire Emblem, which is a prequel to Fire Emblem. And I'll explain what those games are because it is sort of an interesting part. So if you notice in Super Smash Bros. Melee, Marth was in it. So he's basically, you can say, he's Mr. Fire Emblem. He's the very first character ever introduced of the franchise, and of course his story is he's a exile prince because the kingdom got run over, blah 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 blah, you know. Best of all, he's voiced by Yuri Hotel, aka Sasuke, but that's a different story there. So he was introduced in Melee, and apparently, again, I gotta give credit to Mugenlord, so this is a bit of a response to him. Apparently, they wanted to put Marth on the N64 version, the very first one, but according to Sakurai, the reason why they didn't because he doesn't know yet how to make it work. He doesn't understand what Fire Emblem yet at the time, so he didn't want to kind of ruin the character's reputation, his image. So they said, we'll wait until later, which is Melee. But at the same time, there was a second Fire Emblem character that came in, and that is Roy. Yes, Roy is from Fire Emblem Binding Sword, but yes, he's from a later Fire Emblem from the Game Boy Advance. However, here's the catch, and it's only in Japan, mind you, that when Super Smash Bros. Melee came out and they released Roy, guess what? His game wasn't even out yet until later on. Why is that? Easy. Promotion. Nintendo wanted to put in some Fire Emblem representative in Smash Bros. Melee to help sell other games. So you put in Marth. Oh look, maybe I'll buy the Famicom version or later version of Fire Emblem game. Oh Roy, that's the latest one at a time. That was at a time when Melee came out. Roy's game wasn't even out yet. That's the reason why there. Okay, then in the West, of course, Fire Emblem's picking up. The first Fire Emblem, like I said, that came out in the West from the Game Boy Advance, which is you do play as, well, Lyn, Hector, and Eliwood. And here's a bit of a spoiler, but it's told. And if you're playing Fire Emblem Heroes, then you kind of know what I'm talking about. Hector has a daughter. I forgot her name because too many Fire Emblem. Anyway, Eliwood, at the same time, the main character of that game, has a son, which is Roy. If you ever wonder why they look the same, there you go. So, yeah, so there you go. There's a promotion for Roy there. Okay, moving on to Brawl. There's Ike, of course, from Fire Emblem Radiance and Dawn, but it was one of the first GameCube Fire Emblem game. Ike, that's why it's in Brawl, because they're promoting the game. But you gotta understand the game already came out before Brawl, because of course Brawl got a lot of delay. But again, they wanted to put in a Fire Emblem character to sell the franchise. And what's the latest game during that time? Radiance of Dawn. And of course, in the Wii U, he came back. Now it's the sequel, Radiance Dawn. Now it's like older, more muscly, but yeah. And then you still have Marth, like, oh, because he's Mr. Fire Emblem. However, what are the new characters in the Wii U and 3DS? Well, first of all, Lucina and Robin, which is from Fire Emblem Awakening. So they came out in the base roster, again, to promote Fire Emblem. And then, fast forward to the DLC, guess what? Corrin was DLC there. And the funny part is, like, wait a minute, I'm confused with this one. Okay, here's the thing, what's happening. Corrin, and in Japan, Fire Emblem Fates has already been out, but in the US or outside of Japan, not yet. If I remember, it was summer of 2015. Yeah, the summer of 2015. And then in winter of February 2016 was Fire Emblem Fate finally coming out in the US. So again, same deal. Why put in Corrin? To promote not only Fire Emblem Fate, which is the current game in Japan, but so that outside of Japan, they'll get interested with the character when the game comes out in February of 2016. There you go. Boom. Again, promotion to Fire Emblem character. And now, let's move forward to Ultimate, the fifth character in the Fighter Pass, Byleth. there you go. They talk about it again. The promotion. There you go. So yeah, the whole point of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is, or the franchise itself, it's a promotion for other games. It's a tool to market other games on this one, and a lot of time and time again, to some extent, Sakurai have no choice. In Melee, they want to put in Roy to promote his game, and then in the Wii U, Corrin to promote Fate. At the same time, Fire Emblem Awakening, promote that game. That's where you got Chrom, which is not playable at the time, Lucina, Robin, and then in Ultimate, Byleth, because they want to promote Fire Emblem Three Houses. And you go, wait a minute, but then if you want to promote this game, how come Byleth wasn't in the base roster? Why put him in the DLC? Well, they probably needed more time to understand the character. Even Sakurai said it. However, believe it or not, remember, Fire Emblem Three Houses was supposed to come out like in 2018 of spring. And then they pushed it back to July of 2019 because they needed more time. Again, that's kind of sort of like the delay there. Because, yeah, it was supposed to be April 2018, and then Ultimate was in December of 2018. There you go. Yeah, so, yeah, like my thoughts what Mugenlord said, yeah, I agree. Like, whether you like it or not, to some extent, is that it is a promotion. Ever since Melee, or heck, if the 64 version, they always want to put in Fire Emblem character. Like, they wanted to put Mart on the 64, according to Mugenlord, but he needed more time to understand who Mart is, so Melee did it. Roy, game he's not even out yet when Roy was introduced in Fire Emblem, in Melee. And then on the Wii or Brawl, it's Ike to promote the GameCube game. And then of course on the Wii U, the sequel to it, that's why Ike looks different. But at the same time, Awakening, you got Lucina and Robin. And then later on as a DLC, Corrin, he has a DLCs to promote Fate, not only in Japan because it's already been out, but they want more people to buy the game, but to get hype outside of Japan. And they now Byleth, same deal, because Fire Emblem Three Houses is selling well. It should sell more. How do you do it? Put the guy in Smash Brother. Yeah, so the bottom line is, like Sakurai said, he has no choice. They want to put certain characters in Smash Brother from Nintendo because they wanted to make it to promote other games. I mean, do I agree with it? To some extent, no, but I kinda understand. Yeah, so Byleth being in the game, again, you don't like Byleth in the game, yeah, it sucks, I feel for you, but to some extent, like I said, Nintendo has full control. They're funding the game. It's not Project Source funding the game, so he's just following order to what they're telling Sakurai what to do. I mean, that's really it. Yeah, so you may not agree with it. Me, yeah, to some extent I might not agree with it, but it's a business. As long as it doesn't ruin the game, it doesn't screw the customer, the players, the people who support this game, you should be fine. Yes, I mean, that's why the Fighter Pass is, you save $5, and for a while, you went to $20, so So, I mean, you don't get screwed with it. So, like, for me, personally, like I said, I just trust in Sakurai. Will there be a Fire Emblem character in Fighter Pass 2? Who knows? Maybe. Yeah, that's my thoughts on Fire Emblem getting promoted via Super Smash Bros. Franchise. You may not like it, but it's a business. So with that, I'll see you guys later.